Welcome to Season 3 of Marketing Ninja Unleashed. This is the first episode after a really exciting summer. And in this episode, I'm sharing why the best brands don't just sell products, they help people build memories. We talk about why growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone and why events still matter in a digital-first world. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Marketing Ninja Unleashed. I'm Rena, founder of You and Your Story, and I'm so excited to be kicking off Season 3 with you. Now, if you've been following along since Season 1 or 2, thank you for sticking with me. And if you're new here, welcome. You're in the right place if you want marketing that actually works, without any of that fluffy stuff. It's been a super exciting summer for me, and I thought the best way to kick off this season was to share some of those moments that I enjoyed over the summer, what I learned from those moments, and how they all connect back to marketing and running a business. Because as you know by now, marketing is so much more than advertising and social media. There's loads more to it. So, what have I actually been up to? Well, I went to Ideas Fest in September and I got interviewed live by the Podcast Foundry. And yes, as an introvert, that was definitely out of my comfort zone. I helped the MALA committee, the Midlands Asian Lawyers Association, with their annual ball and their marketing, and the ball was a huge success. I've been to Dubai, which gave me so much inspiration about how brands actually build experiences. And I turned 40. We had a big celebration with my family at home, and we even had the hot potato shop serving food from my garden. Honestly, it was emotional, nostalgic, and just so special. And all of this reminded me of 3 big lessons that I want to dive into today. First of all, why brands should be helping people to build memories. Then, why stepping out of your comfort zone is the only way you actually grow. And why events, the human, face-to-face kind, are still so powerful in building your brand. So, let's get into it. Lesson 1. Brands should be helping people build memories. When I say that having the hot potato shop serve food at my 40th felt special, I meant it. It wasn't just food. It was memories of lunchtimes with friends, of growing up, of that warm, comforting smell of jacket potatoes filled with cheese, beans and coleslaw, and their infamous chip butty. My mouth is watering just talking about it. So when we booked them to serve food at my garden party, it wasn't just a catering choice. It was a moment that connected my past and my present. My guests loved it, but more importantly, I loved it. And that's the thing about great brands. They're not just selling products or services, they're helping you create memories. Putting it into perspective, have a think about Disney. Nobody says, "Oh, I went on a roller coaster." They say, "I had the most magical day today." Think about Apple. Nobody says, "My phone has 6 gigabytes of storage." They'll say, "I managed to FaceTime my mum abroad for the first time today." That's the difference. Brands that focus on features stay forgettable. Brands that focus on moments become unforgettable. So, here's the challenge that I want you to think about for your business. What memories are you helping your customers build? Are you helping them feel safe, proud, connected, inspired? Or are you just another transaction that they're going to forget tomorrow? For me, having Hot Potato Shop in my garden reminded me that brands that I remember are the ones that touched my emotions. And that's what I want you to strive for as well. Reach out if you want some help creating unforgettable moments for your customers. Lesson 2. Growth means stepping out of your comfort zone. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know I'm an introvert. Being in front of a crowd, being interviewed on the spot, it's not my natural space. But you know what? I actually signed up to appear on the podcast for Podcast Foundry because I thought it would be a good idea at the time, and I was feeling a little brave. When I turned up at Ideas Fest, I did a little video for Mush Drinks. Even though my heart was racing, I actually managed to record a little snippet for them. When it was time to do the podcast recording for the Podcast Foundry, there were hundreds of people walking past, looking at me. My mind had already given me 100 reasons why I shouldn't do this, and why I should really run over to the Airwallex tent and get some free ice cream. But I didn't. The guys hosting the podcast did a great job of making me feel comfortable. And I even had my own personal paparazzi, my lovely friend Cetal, who was snapping away while I was getting more and more nervous, sat in the hot seat. And then I did the interview, and you know what? It was fine. Afterwards, I felt amazing. Not because it was perfect, but because I actually did it. And I grew from it. The truth is that your comfort zone is exactly what the name suggests. Comfortable, safe, familiar. But nothing new ever happens there. Growth lives just outside of that. And the same applies in business and marketing. Sticking with the same strategies, the same platforms, the same tone of voice, it might feel safe, but it won't get you noticed. Trying something new, whether that's a bold ad, a different type of content, or showing up in front of a live audience, that's where the magic is.
LinkedIn is pretty great at a lot of things, like helping you tap into your field's latest industry trends and insights. We can't stop your colleague from tapping her pencil. LinkedIn can help you find new jobs that align with your career goals. We cannot help find the source of that weird smell in the office fridge. Ew. And while we can't stop your colleagues from bringing their hobbies into the office, LinkedIn can help bring your career to the next level. LinkedIn is the network that works for you.
So my encouragement to you is this. The next time you feel that little bit of fear, that voice that says, this isn't you, just remember, that's where growth is. I'm so glad that I did that interview because it reminded me the only way to grow marketing in business, in life, is to step out of your comfort zone. And boy, did I jump out of my comfort zone that day. If you want some help jumping out of your comfort zone too, get in touch. If I can do it, you definitely can. Lesson number 3, don't forget the power of events. We live in a digital first world at the moment. Ads, reels, posts, podcasts, emails, they're everywhere. And don't get me wrong, they're powerful. I use them, you use them, and they're definitely not going anywhere. The thing is, nothing replaces human connection. Helping the Marla Committee with their annual ball and attending Ideas Fest reminded me of that. I'm also a member of Find a Biz networking group in Kirby Muxloe for that same reason. And it means that I've committed to get out and speak to a group of lovely humans once a month. Being in that room with people, shaking hands, laughing, telling stories, that's what builds trust. That's what builds relationships. And for businesses, especially the smaller ones, events don't have to mean grand black tie balls or huge festival style events. They can be really simple. Hosting a coffee morning for your customers, booking a stall at someone else's event to get in front of new audiences, running a taster session where people can try your product or services. These little moments of human connection give people a reason to remember you, and they make your digital marketing work harder because now people know the person behind the post. So if you've been hiding behind the laptop like I was for such a long time, here's my nudge. Step out, get into a room of people, and let them see the human side of your brand. So, to wrap up today's episode, what a summer it's been. From nostalgic potatoes to stepping into the spotlight to the power of events, the lessons are very, very clear. Build memories, not just transactions. Step out of your comfort zone because that's where growth is. And never underestimate the human side of marketing. Now, here's a little teaser for what's coming next. Over the last month or so, I've been busy interviewing some incredible people who are going to help you run your business better, smarter, and with more impact. And the very first guest in the next episode is going to be my husband, Shan Patel. Yes, he definitely volunteered for this, and he is up for it. We'll be talking about his perspective, his experience, and trust me, it's going to be a good episode. Thank you so much for joining me for the start of Season 3 of Marketing Ninja Unleashed. I'm Rena. This is you and your story, and remember, we're here to make sure your story is the one the world won't forget.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.